Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Tivoli Appliance Demo Overview. In part 1 we described what an appliance was and went through an overview of the demo system. In part 2 we're going to log on to the hosted system and show you what that looks like, as well as run through a sample integration scenario. Alright, so we'll get logged in to the demo system. And the first thing you'll see is a welcome page which describes the demo and in the description and some things on how to get started. So the first thing you'll need to do is read through this so you understand what you're seeing. It also gives you some examples of what to do and how things are arranged. And most importantly, it tells you about the passwords that you need to know. The next thing you need to look at is this documentation, which is located on the Services Management Resource Center website. Alright, if we take a look at the favorites, we'll notice we have 4 favorites here. The first 2 are links to the starter pages that are provided with the products. And the second one, or the third one, is the service desk logon, and the fourth one logs you on to the TEP console. So let's just start at the top and take a look at each of these. If you look at the starter page, it gives you the links for the service desk or Tivoli Foundation Service Manager important links. Okay, the first thing you'd want to do is take a look at the Lotus Foundation's admin console, because this is important for the whole idea of the product, right? Is the fact that we can manage this whole system from one convenient console, and from here, it defaults to a status page. But you can look down through the status page and see the different things, that whether your mail server's up and running and so forth. But another important point here is the software update service. You can install patches or update your license keys. Like here, you can see I upgraded from a version 1.1 to 1.1 version 15 or whatever, and you can do this very effortlessly. I mean, you can download these upgrades from the Lotus Foundation site. You can install them. You can install add-on packages, and the add-on. So the Tivoli Service Desk Foundations package is actually an add-on package for on top of this, so it shows up here as an add-on package. Again, you can do users and set up your networking, everything from this nice convenient interface. Alright, so let's go back to the main launch page, and we can launch the service desk from here. Okay, so there's 4 IDs set up here. Max admin, which is the super user, but then we have a service desk admin ID, which is used by, you normally have set up an administrator, and then you have a service desk agent, which would then, he's the guy that would work incidents and problems and do things, and then you have just a generic user. Okay, so let's just log on as SD admin just to see what one of them looks like. And from these pages you can see the incidents that are open and so forth. We have a couple bulletins for you to look at. You can just do the normal service desk functions at this point. Alright, so let's go back and see how you would then look at the Foundation's application manager, and it has a few things that you can look at as well. You also have the Foundation's admin console, so there's consistency between the 2 products there. You can look at reporting, or you can launch the TEP console and actually manage your network. So there's also some quick downloads here when you're setting up your site or your clients originally, and I've already done those, so we don't need to look at those at this point. So let's click on the Enterprise Console link, and it will just basically launch the Enterprise Console. Alright, the password is tiv2u. Alright, and here we're presented with the launch pad, which has all the operational tasks and administrative tasks that you would need to monitor your system. Okay, I'm not going to go through each of these functions here because this is just an overview, but I will go ahead and take you through I'll go to Manage Events, and you can look at the kind of things that we have set up on the system. So we have a Linux host, which is we're actually actively monitoring the host that TFAM is running on. Alright, so that's why we show up as an active monitor for the Linux host. And the Windows XP machine is being actively managed with the Windows OS Management Agent. If we look at these links, okay, we can see that I've set the NT log space to a very small amount, so it's always showing up as low. So this event will always be here. And there's also an NT service automatic start that shows up. Basically, if you go into the services on the XP box and stop any of the automatic start services, you will get a situation that pops up here to say an important service has been stopped. So you can use that in your demos. Alright, so if you click on the NT log space low thing, you can look at the expert advice, or you can take action. Okay, so what we're going to do from here is we're going to go back to the service desk, which you can do multiple ways, but we're going to log in. We'll go back to the Start Center, and since we're logged in before, it logged us straight in without having to ask us for our credentials. And since the incidents the situations that are being generated from the monitoring product are being sent to Service Desk and show up as incidents, we are going to look for one of those. So we'll go down here to the Open Incidents, and under Description, we're going to search for log. And you can see that the primary, so you can see some incidents here. So this is the same situation that was generated from monitoring, and if you click on it, you could do some investigation or do the normal things you would do. You could promote it to a problem, or do whatever you need to do. But one of the things that I want to show is the remote diagnostics capability. So from here, we can click on Remote Diagnostics, and this is going to ask you for administrator user and password for the machine you're going to try to remote to. And it's going to use a Java Web Start function to remote control the machine that we're having the problem with. So we're going to look at the XP client machine. Alright, so now we've remote controlled to the XP client from inside Service Desk. And from this, you can then, go and take a look at your logs, in the event viewer, fix the problem, do whatever you need to do. Clear out the logs, and then you would clear that incident if you cleared the log file, and the log space would not be low anymore. So basically what we have here now is the end-to-end scenario where we had situations in monitoring. They formed incidents in Service Desk, and from those incidents you can remediate problems with the remote diagnostic tools, or promote those incidents to problems, work regular resolutions, and so forth.